Lucille Ball was known to the world as the brilliant redhead who transformed television. But behind her sharp wit and warm smile, she held private opinions about the stars she worked with, opinions she rarely shared publicly. In quiet conversations with close friends, Lucy revealed that some of Hollywood's most admired actresses weren't just difficult. In her eyes, they carried a kind of coldness that crossed the line into something darker, not dramatic villainy, but real-life cruelty, the kind that reveals who a person truly is when no cameras are rolling. To Lucy, the test of character was simple. How did a star treat people who couldn't give them anything? Assistants, waiters, wardrobe girls, extras. Those were the moments where the real person came out. And the names she remembered most weren't the ones famous for playing on-screen villains. They were the glamorous icons the public worshipped, women whose beauty and talent hid a side only insiders ever saw. The first name she always mentioned was Joan Crawford. The public adored Crawford as a symbol of elegance, perfect hair, perfect posture, flawless gowns. But Lucy saw something else, a woman who protected her image with ice-cold precision. When Crawford guested on Here's Lucy in 1971, Lucy immediately felt the temperature in the studio change. The demands began early. The room must stay at exactly 68 degrees. The lighting must sculpt her cheekbones. Her chair must be placed at an exact angle. Lucy didn't mind the vanity. She understood the industry. What disturbed her came next. A 22-year-old wardrobe assistant brought Crawford a dress with the faintest wrinkle. Instead of a quiet correction, Crawford allegedly unleashed a cutting tirade, calling the girl useless and demanding she be fired on the spot. The assistant fled in tears. Lucy refused the firing, and in that moment, she realized something chilling about Crawford. When the cameras turned on, Crawford became a glowing star. The instant they turned off, she froze into silence. Lucy later whispered to a friend that she'd met mannequins who seemed more human. Crawford, in her mind, wasn't just cold. She seemed hollow beneath the glamour. Judy Garland was different. Lucy didn't label her evil the way she did others, but she carried deep frustration toward her. Lucy admired Judy's unmatched talent and painful history, but she had witnessed the chaos Judy left behind. One director recounted how an entire crew arrived before sunrise for a 5 a.m. call, only for Judy to appear around mid-afternoon, radiant and apologizing. She delivered a flawless half hour, then left. The next day, 3 crew members were quietly fired when the production went over budget. Lucy mourned Judy's suffering but couldn't excuse the damage. She believed Judy's brilliance came with a storm that always swept innocent people away. And Lucy, who built her career on reliability in a ruthless industry, never forgave that pattern. Ava Gardner, however, was someone Lucy openly described as cruel. Ava's beauty made the world adore her, but Lucy believed that beauty hid something predatory. At an MGM wardrobe fitting, Lucy watched Ava take pleasure in humiliating a nervous assistant over a barely visible flaw in a dress. This wasn't a diva moment. This was domination. Later, at a cocktail party, Ava casually mocked Lucy as a washed-up clown, loud enough for everyone to hear. Lucy shrugged off the insult, but never forgot the malice behind it. She believed Ava's legendary beauty blinded the world to what she saw as a much darker personality, someone who enjoyed creating victims, not mistakes. Then there was Bette Davis, sharp-tongued, brilliant, and, to Lucy, dangerous in a different way. Lucy respected Bette's talent, but couldn't tolerate what she called her cruelty for sport. At a formal dinner, Bette publicly berated a young waiter for bringing the wrong wine, turning the mistake into a harsh performance that left the entire room silent. Lucy watched the boy struggle not to cry as Bette continued the spectacle. Later, she told a friend that Crawford was cold, but Bette seemed to enjoy the wound. In Lucy's mind, there was nothing admirable about power used to crush people simply trying to earn a living. Zaza Gabor landed on Lucy's list not for open cruelty, but for what Lucy believed to be pure fraudulence. Zaza performed glamour like an art form, diamonds, furs, accent, charm. but Lucy saw the mask slip at a charity event in the late 1960s. That a moment cameras stopped flashing, Zaza allegedly snapped at volunteers, refusing to sit with peasants. When a young woman accidentally brushed her coat, Zaza smiled sweetly while threatening to ruin her chances of working another event. To Lucy, fake kindness was the most dangerous kind. A cruel person shows you who they are. A fake one can fool everyone. So when Zaza later made headlines for slapping a police officer, Lucy wasn't surprised. In her mind, the world had finally gotten a glimpse of the real woman. The last two women on Lucy's private list were actresses whose names she never revealed publicly. The first was a studio starlet from Lucy's early TV days, famous enough to be recognized everywhere, but not iconic. On set, she allegedly singled out extras or stand-ins and mocked them for entertainment. Lucy once saw her mimic a stand-in's walk in front of the crew, making people laugh, while the young woman forced a smile through humiliation. Lucy never forgot the trembling hands the girl tried to hide afterward. It became one of the moments that shaped Lucy's belief that true character reveals itself in how someone treats those who cannot fight back. The final unnamed actress was a younger star Lucy worked with later in life. Her public persona was wholesome, sweet, America's darling. Off camera, Lucy witnessed her dismiss older crew members, snap at makeup artists, and treat background actors as invisible. One day, after the actress mocked an older crew member behind his back, Lucy quietly declined any opportunity to return to the show. She didn't raise her voice or confront her. She simply recognized the same pattern she'd seen many times: youth mixed with power and no sense of humanity. When people talk about Lucille Ball, they remember the comedy, the love story with Daisy Arnaz, the groundbreaking television empire. But behind the scenes, Lucy carried decades of observations about the way Hollywood's brightest stars behaved when the spotlight wasn't on them. Her private list wasn't about jealousy or gossip. It was about what she believed truly mattered: kindness, humility, and the way a person treats those without status or influence. For Lucy, that was the real measure of greatness. Of course, many of these stories live in that space between memory and rumor. Different people told them, some details shift, and Lucy herself wasn't one to publicly expose others. But the themes repeat. Talent doesn't excuse cruelty, beauty doesn't excuse humiliation, and fame doesn't erase the impact a star leaves on ordinary people who cross their path. So now that you've heard the names and stories Lucille Ball kept behind closed doors, which one shocked you the most? And do you think Hollywood still hides personalities like this today? Stars who shine under the lights but cast long shadows behind the scenes. Share your thoughts in the comments, and if you want more untold stories from classic Hollywood, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss the next reveal.